This is Richard from Odoo, a business advisor, and this video is going to help you understand how taxes work in fiscal positions. And what these tools are devices to allow you to set tax rates on products and change them based on where the customer location is. So let's first open up the accounting application. The accounting application is where you would set up your taxes. First and foremost, under configuration and taxes. Here are the specific taxes that you're going to end up using. These end up going on the product, and I'll explain a little bit why later. I've created three main taxes at the moment: tax exempt for businesses that do not get taxed, a New York state tax, and a California state tax. These are generated so that whenever an order is placed on a product, these taxes will be selected. So how that works is, let's open up a product. In this case, it's going to be our Cusick block screen. And on here, you specify what kind of tax that you're going to sell with. The reason why you set up taxes on a product level is because if you were to go to a liquor store and buy a bottle of alcohol, a candy bar, and some cigarettes, each state, city, or county will have different tax rates for each one. And so for that reason, it's important and crucial to have the tax assigned to the product itself. So then what happens is, whenever I go to my sales order and I pull up a product, let's pick up Azure and the block screen that I mentioned, the tax exempt is automatically going to populate. But now the next question is, well, if I'm selling to somebody in a different state and they have different tax rates, well, then that's where we talk about fiscal positions. We're going to go over to the accounting application once more, dive into the accounting configuration and fiscal positions. Here you'll see the standard one that is generated with a demo environment, but I also created two more, New York State and California. These are representative of the similar taxes that I created earlier and showed you. What a fiscal position does is you assign it to a contact record and you tell the system what to do with it. So whenever the system sees a tax-exempt tax on a product, it will replace it with the New York State tax. So tax on the product and tax to apply. And of course, you can create other rules. And the fiscal position will also help you with account mapping if you want to change the account that is used. So that's what New York State looks like. And here's what California looks like. Pretty straightforward. And if we go back to the taxes very quickly, New York State tax is 4%, California state tax is 6%. So what do we do from there? Next, we look at our contacts. The contacts will house the fiscal position, or that's where you assign the fiscal position to them. So we have the New York business, and we have California. In the California business, we have in the sales and purchases settings the fiscal position of California applied because they are in California. And then we have the same thing for the New York business, but this time the New York State. So how does this work? Let's go back to our sales application, create a new quote. And so first and foremost, what you need to do is specify the customer first. The order of operations is left to right and up and down, similar to reading a book. So assigning Azure, you're going to see that in the other information tab, or is it in it might not be visible here, but there is a fiscal position field available. So when I add the product and pick the block, first and foremost, the tax exempt appears as expected. But let's change it up. Let's add the California business. Now California business is here. Add my product, again the block, and you'll see California is specified. And additionally, just like with California, when I specify the New York business, I'll add a product again, the same one, and there you have the New York state tax applied. And that is how you assign that value and automatically have that tax applied to the order. Of course, then you can remove and add whatever tax you want manually. Now you have scenarios where you don't have the luxury of automatically or manually assigning a tax rate to a contact. Well, fortunately, we have the ability to automate this process, where you go on the right-hand side of a New York state tax, you can detect automatically, and you can make it detect based on a country group or just a general country as a whole, in which case you can open it up and specify there, in which case it will then prompt you to say, okay, which states does it belong to? And also you can make it based on zip range, meaning that once Odoo recognizes the zip code range or the state, it will automatically apply this fiscal position. This is very useful for online orders, for e-commerce, or when you want to create contacts. So hopefully this has been helpful for you and gives you a better understanding of how fiscal positions, taxes, and products all relate with each other, especially given the context of where your customer is coming from. This is Richard from Odoo. Thank you for your time.